Welcome to That Voice Podcast. I'm your host, Sally Prosser. If you want to speak with style, sass, and soul so you can love your voice and land your message, you're in the right place. Let's hit it. Hello and welcome back to That Voice Podcast. I'm Sally Prosser, and let me tell you straight, self-promotion is not a dirty word. This came up with a client the other day. So he's a C-suite executive and he hasn't been in his new role for all that long, and he's wanting to make some changes, which means influencing people, which not only means he needs to speak confidently, but he needs to communicate his competence. Let people know who he is and what he's done. You know, he's not some blow-in. He's qualified. He's very experienced. He knows his shit. And I'm sure you do too. But I said to him, people are not mind readers. You need to communicate your story. And then he said, yeah, I know, Sal. I just feel a bit awkward with all this self-promotion. I don't want to sound arrogant or full of myself. Yeah, so we worked through it. And as we were doing that, I wrote on my list, promotion is not a dirty word. This needs to be a podcast episode. And here we are. Because communicating your value is essential. If you don't blow your own trumpet, no one's coming to blow it for you. Oh, it's kind of a bit of innuendo in that metaphor. But if you feel icky about self-promotion, you're going to get leapfrogged, you're going to struggle to have influence, and you're shutting yourself off to opportunities. So my client, as I mentioned, is a professional. If you are listening and you're a business owner or a founder, far out, even more so, you need to make friends with self-promotion to grow your business. I see it all the time. Smart, capable, brilliant people holding back because they see self-promotion as a dirty word, as something negative. Answer me this. If you promote yourself, what does that say about you? And your answer to that likely comes from childhood. What stories were you told? Were you told to stay quiet, look pretty, be polite, be humble? It's rude to talk about yourself. And all these stories can hook in really deep and sabotage you in adulthood. So today we're going to reframe self-promotion so you can get out there, get the results you're after, and the opportunities you want. There's a few points I want to raise. 3. The first one is self-promotion is service. If people don't know what you do, they can't benefit from you. They can't hire you, they can't recommend you, they can't learn from you. And how's this for a one-liner? A coach once told me, it's so good. You're not showing off, you're showing up. You're not showing off, you're showing up. Now, the second point I want to raise, and I'm always banging on about this one, promoting yourself builds trust. Because people don't trust what they occasionally see or just, don't hear at all. They trust what they consistently hear, what you consistently show them. And your voice, your actual voice, is one of the fastest ways to build that trust. Hearing someone's voice is the closest thing to touching them. A voice lights up the limbic system, the emotional control center of the brain. It creates mirror neurons, fosters connection. Around the executive table, like my client, if people aren't clear on your credentials and your experience, then of course they're going to be more skeptical of your ideas. So, you won't believe it, we are renovating again. Yes, I'm going back for more pain. So we did the ensuite bathroom last year, and you know how one thing leads to another. And now we're doing the laundry and the bedroom. The bathroom renovation ripped up part of the floor, and I'm just not loving, living with this damaged floor. So we're doing the laundry, doing the bedroom, and the project manager we've got is excellent. He spoke very clearly about the job. I feel we're in good hands. He told me he's been in the game for 30 years. He's done a lot of work in apartments, and he's really confident he can bring our vision to life. Now, he had the job before he told me that, but that information increases my trust in his ability to do the job. Some might say his self-promotion made me feel better. So 1, self-promotion is service. It builds trust, 2. And the last one is more about you than others. Self-promotion creates opportunities. Have you ever seen someone else get an opportunity that you really wanted and then you found out, how did they get it? And it was as simple as them asking for it. Like they put themselves forward. I share a story about this in my book, Voice Print. Voice Print, How to Leave a Lasting Impression Every Time You Speak. Kindle, paperback, audiobook, make sure you've got your copy. And the story I share is how I got my first job on air in radio. And I literally looked up the radio station reception number in the phone book. This was well before Google. Looked it up in the white pages. And I rang them, asked to speak to the newsroom, and next thing I'm on air. I mean, after a few weeks work experience and all the rest of it, but that's how the opportunity first started. The more you're putting yourself out there and letting people know who you are, what you do, what your area of expertise is, what you have to offer, then opportunities will come your way that you didn't even realize were out there for you. Silence does not make you humble. It makes you invisible. Silence does not make you humble, it makes you invisible. And sorry, I was speaking quite slowly there in that part, but it's because I hear this so much. Oh, I'm humble. I don't want to be arrogant. And we've got to break away from this idea that self-promotion is arrogance and not talking about yourself is humility. It's not that at all. No one can advocate for you if they don't understand you. No one can open doors for you if they don't know what you bring to the table. I get so many great referrals from people I've never met. They've seen and heard me online, heard me on this podcast, and they confidently refer their friends to me. It's so great. And when I'm speaking to their friends, they don't have much info on convincing because my self-promotion has told them what they need to know and they're good to go. And yeah, it stings because every time you don't speak up, someone less qualified, but more visible, more audible, more comfortable with self-promotion, they're the ones that get the opportunity. So what do you do with all this information? How do you practically self-promote? I've got a couple of ideas for you. You start small. You stop thinking of it as bragging and start thinking of it as sharing. Share what you're working on. Share what you're learning. Share the results you're creating. Right? So think of it as a share rather than a brag. The next thing is anchor it to your impact. So instead of look at me, look at me, look at me. Big fan of Kath and Kim. Those of you outside Australia, got to look it up. Kath and Kim, Australian classic. So instead of look at me, it becomes here's how this has helped someone. So it's almost like you speak about your achievements and your credentials in the third person outside yourself. That can be a bit easier if you're not comfortable with speaking about yourself initially. And then start using your voice every day. Develop the habit in meetings, online, in how you introduce yourself to people on the street. And the more you express yourself, the more self-promotion becomes a positive part of your identity. Remember I mentioned identity earlier on? How can promoting yourself be linked to something positive for you? You promote yourself, and that's fantastic because you love yourself. You have a healthy self-image. You have value to share. You have people to help. You have dreams to realize. Of course, you're a proud self-promoter. Who wouldn't want some of your magic? So this week, share one thing you'd normally keep to yourself. Say it out loud in the meeting. Post it online and own it. And notice what changes straight away because self-promotion is not a dirty word. It's a flirty word. It's a fabulous word. It's a word that takes down your fears and shows you what's possible for you. Because that's another part of this, isn't it? Maybe when you lean into self-promotion, you'll start to see. Maybe when you lean into self-promotion, you'll start to see just how incredible you really are. You'll start to grow. You'll start to change. And growth can be scary. You know? There's no growth in the comfort zone and there's no comfort in that growth zone. But as you've seen every other time you've grown in your life, it is so worth it, isn't it? It's so worth it. And this episode wouldn't feel complete without a bit of self-promotion from my end. I have been living and breathing voice and communication since I set up a speech and drama studio at the age of 16 in the front room of my parents' house. I turned 40 last year, so you can do the math. I've reported on TV, been a spokesperson for a major company, published a book, done a TEDx talk, and helped hundreds of people get confident in what they say and how they say it. So slide into my DMs because I know what I'm doing and I know how the world opens up for you when you get comfortable with sharing your voice, when you get comfortable with self-promotion, that beautiful word. I'll see you next week. Thanks for listening. If it resonated, please share on your socials and tag us at That Voice Podcast on Instagram. And for episode details, hot off the drop, straight to your inbox, leave your email at thatvoicepodcast.com.